I stand here alongside my friend Bonk Nickeltoon, and we've got two huge matches coming at you tonight. Both of which will decide the finals of the European Finals, because it is the semifinals. That's how tournaments work, in case you didn't know. Tonight, the Macedonian Monster, making his first tournament appearance and making a very impressive start thus far, Lil C, will be taking on the fighting Frenchman himself, Metro, and on the other side of the bracket, the reigning defending Natasha Heavyweight Champion of the world, Retro, will be taking on the up and coming Swiss Superman known as Mr. Dizzy. Yeah, Franco Swiss. Thank you, Mr. Dizzy. Who cares? Mostly Swiss. But anyways, we might not get all those matches here tonight because unfortunately, Monk, our good friend Lol C, he has unfortunately caught a injury to his real life. He is not medically cleared to compete tonight, and that might be a bit disappointing to some fans. But you know, how does that change the complexity of this match? Metro, he's been gearing up, waiting all week to get into this matchup here tonight, and now come to find out that due to some personal concerns, he might have to postpone that. What do you feel like is going through Metro's mind right now?
Well, he's wanting to fight, that's for sure. Metro has won fight night. He has been in the NHBL since season 2. He's a complete and dominant veteran boxer. He's 2-1 actually in the regular season currently, and is recently beaten down El Comandante in a full-on sweep. Now this could be a little bit devastating, as when boxers are ready to fight, they're ready to fight, and if there's no one else to fight there, they gotta take an extra day, and that could affect them on an emotional level, maybe even a mental strategic level.
Indeed, indeed. And this is, of course, the second time he's had to do this in the last few weeks. Egyptian Bagel also had some personal concerns come up in real life, and we had to postpone his match. So if you're Metro right now, you know he's got to be a little frustrated. But do you think he can use that frustration to push himself to win against Lil C, or do you think that's going to lead to some concerns in the ring?
Well, for a veteran fighter, I'm sure he'll figure something out on the way through it.
I hope he does. He has been here since season 2. I'm not going to count him out. We'll have to wait and see. Probably next this Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, let's focus on the match that we know is going to happen tonight. That being Natasha Heavyweight Champion Retro going up against Mr. Dizzy. Now, Retro, there's nothing left to be said about him. He's one of the most gifted boxers in the world today, and he's getting that much closer to retaining his Natasha Heavyweight Championship here in this tournament. But I wouldn't count out Mr. Dizzy either. Mr. Dizzy, he came up on the fight night circuits. He started out all right, and now he's continually put in more and more to his game to the point where he's sitting here in the spot looking to get into the NHBL European final match. But with that said, I do have to bring this up. Last time Retro and European Dizzy fought, it was on the European Fight Night circuit. Retro beat him under dubious circumstances, mind you, but Retro did end up picking the victory over him. So do you think that's going to weigh on Mr. Dizzy's mind heading into this match?
Well, here's the thing: both of them have actually won both fight nights before, and while they have faced each other, Retro did in fact come on top. But they've also got multiple factors to what they've done in their career here in the National Boxing League. Both of them have won Ultimate Fight Night tournaments. Both of them have won an EU Fight Night tournament. They have both beaten. They have one has had their first match defeated, which is Mr. Dizzy. He defeated Egyptian Bagel 2-1. Retro in a previous round actually defeated Bazooper 2-1. While they are completely good fighters in their fight night perspective, one is actually 2-2. Mr. Dizzy is 2-2 in the regular season, and Retro is 1-0 in the regular season. The thing is that while in order for this to go through a full circle, both of them are going to have to use their strategies well quickly tonight. Retro is a all-around fighter. He knows how to dodge and he knows how to hit. He will go aggressive and defensive in a quick amount of time. While Mr. Dizzy, he's very calm, and that could be a big problem here tonight, because if he stays calm, that could, or too calm, in fact, that could effectively allow him to lose the round, and that could not be a good thing. He does have some inexperience in certain stages, but I'm pretty sure if he continues to stand up to Retro's level and learns how to fight against a solid dodger and a hitter, then he will be able to defeat Retro here tonight.
We are getting underway in the ring with the practice rounds for Retro versus Mr. Dizzy. And as you're going to watch here, Bonk, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, uh, Retro is a very quick all around. Well, actually, maybe not. This is part of Mr. Dizzy's game as well. His little mind games that he likes to play with the opponent. He never approaches it like you would expect him to. He likes to just stand in the corner for a while. He likes to do this little move where he just stands perfectly still, waiting for the opponent to come in and make a mistake. And as you saw right there, Retro did end up making a mistake. So, how do you think Retro should approach these mind games here tonight from Mr. Dizzy?
Well, the thing is Retro is a fast-paced aggression and defensive fighter. If he goes and rushes too quickly into the mind games that Mr. Dizzy is going to dish out, he may have some trouble fighting against Mr. Dizzy. Now, keep in mind, that could actually backfire because Mr. Dizzy is also a very calm fighter. And being too rational with your calmness, not a good idea against an aggressive and defensive fighter, because he'll come at you fast, and if you don't learn to get on his level, he will completely take you down and dominate the entire ring.
Right, right. I agree with that. And now to flip it onto the other side, though, and as you've seen for this practice round, Retro's been making very good work of Mr. Dizzy here. Now, as you mentioned, Retro very, very quick to adjust to his enemy's tactics. Do you believe in Mr. Dizzy's ability to adjust here on the fly? I know we talked about it a little bit on the broadcast at the pre-show analysis, but what do you think personally? Do you think Dizzy has what it takes to stand up to Retro here tonight?
Well, if Dizzy can trick this veteran fighter into a mind game, and if he can get on the level of Retro with his quick aggression and his quick defensive switch-on strategy, then he will be able to win tonight. If that's not the case, and Retro does seem to overpower him, then Retro will be the
Round one begins here. Dizzy busting out of the corner. Retro was not ready for that one, but Retro took the punch right back. They're dead even now coming into the final punch. No, they're not. Retro got a punch in there. Dizzy trying to play that one very aggressive, but it didn't really work out for him in the end.
Once again, the calmness came in. Retro was being as aggressive as ever. He cornered him on one of the moves. Dizzy tried to get out, but Retro, right on his tail, came in, used that aggression, kept punching him until he was down. He won.
All right, round two begins here. Once again, Dizzy bolting out of the corner. Now he's playing it very conservative. Very odd style here from Dizzy. They exchange blows there. Dizzy missed on that one, but Dizzy didn't miss on that one. Retro's down 2 punches here, and he is not going to make any form of a comeback. Dizzy evens it up at 1-1. Very interesting there. Dizzy varying his moveset between aggressive and defensive.
Did you see that juke he made?
Yeah.
I mean, Retro was trying to come in aggressive, and he made a juke. The mind games are just beginning. He pushed himself backwards and lunged himself forward to get continuous punches, and while Retro tried to get back on his game, he was in the corner, and it was too late. Dizzy won the round because of the mind.
Round three begins here. Once again, Dizzy, the first one out of his corner. Dizzy missed wildly on that punch there. He's going to have to play a comeback game here, and he's not playing that at all. Retro's getting licks in left and right. It's not going to matter. Retro goes up 2-1. Retro took the early advantage there, and Dizzy unable to make the comeback.
He was a little too conservative. And the thing with being too conservative is the fact that while someone's trying to be aggressive and you're trying to push yourself back, is that you got to start throwing more punches. While you can dodge, it's a left and right tactic. You got to dodge and then punch. You can't keep being too conservative. The mind games aren't going to work every single round against this veteran.
Round four begins here, 2-1 in favor of the blue boxer Retro. Dizzy once again taking his sweet time to move in here, waiting for Retro to come in. They exchange blows there, center of the ring. Dizzy got him backed up. Dizzy missed there wildly though. Retro is now up. Retro's up tremendously. Retro missed there. Dizzy's got a chance here, a very slim chance, and Retro annihilates him 3-1 now in favor of the defending Natasha heavyweight champion.
Once again, the conservatives, but this time he had a little bit more caution. He tried to get a little aggressive onto the onto the veteran fighter. He tried to lean himself inwards, but it was just there was no chance. Retro was up, had more health, had more strength, and he took Dizzy down.
Round 5 here. Dizzy ever defiant, even in his bad situation here against the defending champion. He moves in, they exchange blows. Retro and Dizzy missing there. Very interesting to see. You don't see that very often. They exchange blows again. They are dead even coming into the final 2 punches here. Both men dancing around the corner restlessly, and Dizzy will not go away quietly. He racks up one there. Retro didn't catch it in time, and now it's 3-2 in favor of Retro still.
Very risky, very risky. He was going on and off there, and it came down the wire, and he was good enough to lean in and get that punch there. If he tries doing that too much, he may end up.
Round 6 underway here. Dizzy got a round win last time. Now he hopes to continue his good moves. Okay, they exchange blows. They're dead even at 2 punches apiece. They exchange blows again. They're even at 3 punches apiece. It's coming down to the final 2 punches again. Now it's down to the final punch. Dizzy has a chance here. Retro. Oh, no! Dizzy wanted to draw him in, but he didn't wait long enough. Retro saw it coming, and Retro picks up the win. He's heading back to the NHBL European final match.
See, there was that problem with that final punch. Is that Retro played down to his strategy as well, and he was being too conservative, and Dizzy was being too conservative with his punches and his tricks. The thing with Retro is that he was able to dodge that last one, but the problem is that Dizzy didn't intend him to. He intended to lure him in, and that wasn't the problem. Retro played against it. Dizzy missed his punch, and Retro was able to go in and get that final punch, and now he's going back to the European finals.
Alrighty. Well, how do you feel about the fight there, Retro?
It was good. It was pretty tough. I liked his use of mind games and manipulation to try and get the upper hand.
The masterful
I
tactic
appreciate
of
that.
standing still and baiting out your enemy.
Yeah, it's a very interesting tactic. Never really seen that before.
I'm
I might use that
not
myself,
gonna lie.
actually.
It's not a bad tactic. I'm not gonna lie. I would be very confused if the other boxer just stood still for a couple of seconds and shouted "go" at me. So, and
But the my little quirk of learning quick was what really got me the win. I understood that he stood and tried to bait me out. I just waited for him instead. Waited for him to come into me.
That's an excellent strategy, and it's good that you pick up on that. That's one of the key traits of good heavy boxers, the ability to pick up on stuff like that. So how do you feel about going back to the finals?
I'm kind of nervous actually. Both fighters that will be fighting against me will be pretty. I'm quite nervous.
Well, you know what? I think I have some faith. You seem to be a very good boxer. Of course, I'm a man of shiny hats, and I see you have a very shiny hat. So I definitely have faith with you in that. Who would you rather face out of the two boxers?
Probably Lolche. I've fought him before, and he's all right.
Not my boy Metro.
But Metro would destroy me. I wouldn't win against Metro.
Metro over Retro. That's how I always say.
Ridges online.
Zero Metro. 2-0 Metro. Two one Metro. Tied at 2. Three two Metro. Four two Metro advances to the Natasha Heavyweight Championship.